What is object orientation? If we look at the sentence, the woman drives a car, we can see one grammatical subject, the woman, and the car is the grammatical object. So we have informations about the woman and about the car. In programming, objects are grammatical subjects and grammatical objects. I would like to take the car as an example. So let's construct the car as an object-oriented object. First, we should think about what are the important informations about a car for us. Let's say that we need to know the speed of a car, for example. And we need to know that the car is able to move itself. Java is object-oriented, and therefore we save all the informations about a grammatical subject or a grammatical object into one central file. This file is the Java file. In this special case, we would name our Java file car.java. A Java file is basically a class. Such a class describes properties like speed and behavior methods like driving. And all these things belong together. Therefore, we draw always a frame around a class. The name of the class can be found at the top of the frame. After that, we can find the member variables of the class. They describe the current status of our car. In our case, it's the speed. So here we have the name, and over there the status. And the behavior methods are right down at the bottom. This method can change the status of an object. Now we have a nice constructional drawing for the class car. So let's implement this class with some Java code. First, we write public class car . And now we need two curly brackets to define the body of the class. Next, we declare the member variables of the class. They describe the properties of our object. Let's just take an integer for the speed property. Member variables should always begin with an m. M for member. And we have also a method drive. So we write public void drive. This function has no inputs. And this method has also a body, of course. This body could do something like explaining how the car drives. Now let's get a short overview. We have our class graph at the top, and down there is the class car written in code. We can save this code as Java file called car.java. This code represents the constructional drawing of our car. And this constructional drawing tells us how to construct a car. Until now, we didn't construct a car, so we cannot use a car in the program. So let's create a new car. If we construct an object, we usually say we instantiate an object. And if we instantiate a car, we have an instance of it. This is object instance. And such an instance could be a Porsche, for example. A Porsche has the type car and has a maximum speed of, let's say, 300 kilometers per hour. And we can represent this instance with a block. This time we don't write the methods of our car in our block because this is an instance. So we only give it a name and a property. Now let's create another instance. This time let's instantiate a Trabi. That's an old car from DDR times. A Trabi is much slower than a Porsche, so let's set the property speed to 80. So far, we have created two object instances. Both instances have the type car. They own all the properties of the class car, and they also own the method drive. The exact description of this method can be found down here. Next, I will show you how to instantiate an object with code. Therefore, we need a main function. So I write public static void main, and let's keep the function input empty. Now we are ready to instantiate a Porsche. So let's instantiate an object that has the type car, and we call it Porsche. And if we want to create a new object instance from a class, we have to use new. New allocates new storage space in the memory to save our new object Porsche, with all its properties like speed. We already saw this syntax in conjunction with arrays. So now we have instantiated our new Porsche. Next, we have to initialize the speed property of the Porsche. To get the property speed, just write Porsche dot, and we can get all members of a car with the dot operator. And now we want to get speed, of course. And a Porsche can drive 300 kilometers per hour. We could also write Porsche.drive if we want to move our Porsche. The cool thing is, now we have all the car stuff in only one variable. We could also create a Trabi with the same principle. The object orientation gives us a good overview. If we want to change our car class, or if you want to add some features, we simply have to open and edit the car.java file. And we can use the car class wherever we want to use it. It's an easy thing to import the Java file into other Java projects.